Hi there, Zamir for NerdTube. So before we end 2024, I thought I'll let you guys know the worst film that nobody's really seen in the year 2024. This film came out in 2024 and it's really fucking shit, and it's called Classified. Now before I tell you why it's so fucking shit and why you shouldn't waste your time watching it even though I haven't seen it myself, let me quickly give you the synopsis for this film. Aaron Eckhart stars as a veteran CIA hitman who has been following orders from classified ads in newspapers. His reality is upended when he discovers his division was shut down years ago. So that's a really cool synopsis as far as I'm concerned. Here's a guy who's a hitman, sees an ad in papers, realizes what it really means, does this job, but I guess he kind of comes to terms that he's working for somebody else because his division's been shut down years ago. So has he really become the bad guy now? Has he been killing people who probably didn't deserve it? All these questions need to be asked. Who's he really working for? And there's a mystery to uncover, and him being a hitman and all of that. Obviously, we're going to get action scenes with this division that he's working for, probably trying to take him out before he finds out the truth. So yeah, it sounds really cool. It sounds really cool. But, I don't want to necessarily watch something and it being shit regardless of how cool the synopsis is. So let's check out the ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, I know Rotten Tomatoes is not everyone's cup of tea, but usually what you need to go for is the audience rating, not the classified or the critics rating, sorry. The critics rating on here is null. There's nothing there. There is no critics rating, and there's no audience rating either. So what the fuck? How am I supposed to know if this is a good movie or not? I mean, there are some reviews. I could read each of them individually, but it still will be hard for me to decipher if it's a good film or not. If there's a couple of good reviews and say maybe four bad ones, who knows? You might be average. Who knows? I have no idea. Anyway, it's critic reviews, regardless, and there's like 50 ratings on or less on the popcorn meter, but still, there's nothing here. So where the fuck are these ratings? Regardless. Let's not ponder on that too much. Let's just find somewhere else to find reviews and ratings for this particular movie. So I went on to IMDb and boom, it hit me. This film, which came out in 2024, has a 3.7 out of 10 rating. Its stock is plummeting, baby. Look at that arrow pointing down in the red. 2,872. And it's going down. Not that great. Oh, not good. But maybe there is some reviews that could help me out to really explain how bad this film is, or maybe there are some good reviews amongst these reviews. And by the way, this film has Tim Roth as well, so is it really that bad? Well, I was looking at the reviews and yeah, they are. Let's start off with this one. The worst screenwriting and acting I've seen in at least the past 20 years. Not worth the time to press the play button. Just terrible, 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 terrible. And it's ridiculous that it requires me to write a minimum of 600 words for this review to even be accepted. But if you must, I love Aaron Eckhart. But even he must have been embarrassed by day 3 of production on this horrible writing and lack of quality plot. The fighting was totally unrealistic, but the plot was even worse, disconnected, confusing, and illogical. The movie seemed to be in slow motion and over dramatizing every single screen. Now that is a critical review, I may add, but it does get a lot funnier. 4 out of 10. Bang, boom, dud. 4 out of 10. If John Wick director had a less smart and cheap brother, he would be this movie's director. It's a bit of a burn right there. Another 4 out of 10. Solid acting and great scenery couldn't save this. Aaron Eckhart and Abigail Breslin are the two leads, and they are good with solid chemistry. Tim Roth had a minor part. When one watches an action movie, the action scenes are important, and here they're just not that good. The movie definitely has a bit of a low budget compared to recent low budget Eckhart movies, or perhaps they didn't utilize it properly. The story has some twists and turns, and it tries to get us emotionally involved, and for me it sort of worked, but it's not brilliant. The director of cinematography, or whoever does try to make the movie interesting, playing with the lighting in many scenes, and there are some cool shots. The action also happens on Malta. I think they meant in Malta, and it's a beautiful place. But when the highlight of the movie is scenery and lighting and not story and action, it's a problem, especially for action movie. Honestly, the movie would have worked better as a drama given more time to flesh out the characters instead of half the dialogue to progress the meaningless spy assassin plot. Overall, it's watchable but not good as recent Eckhart movies. But let's be honest regarding Aaron Eckhart. He hasn't done anything memorable since playing bloody Harvey Two-Face Dent in Dark Knight, and that was, about a decade ago? Never heard of a military consultant? Someone could explain that to me, but regardless, 2 out of 10. I remember I'm a Brit, so this might be an American joke, so it's going over my head. 1 out of 10. Ooh, that's bad. If you like cinema, don't waste your time and move on. In short, F-grade acting, F-grade dialogue. The whole thing looks like it was filmed on a Samsung S9 Plus, and then color graded with a potato. Seriously, a random free LUT from the internet slapped on everything. Drone spots seem to be done with a DJI Air. Main lighting dive with a subtle aperture without bounce or softbox. Sorry, these are terms that are going over my head a little bit as well. Also, the entire island of Malta seems to be devoid of other people or bystanders. Rooms are also very, very foggy. Shootout scenes take place with a 10mm radius, within a 10mm radius, and were filmed with a compression ratio 200:1 with weird purple smoke explosions. Elementary school students would have done a better job with their iPhones and sunflower on a rainy afternoon on a Sunday. Can't believe they dragged Aaron Eckhart into this. Well, I can, because simply he hasn't really done much. His stock has kind of fallen, so this is what he's left with. Worst screenwriting and acting ever seen. The worst screenwriting and acting I've seen. I think I've read this one already. Yeah, terrible. Yeah, I already read that. Hilariously bad. By the way, that one gave it a 1 out of 10. Hilariously bad, 2 out of 10. And let's finish with this one, shall we? Or should we read a couple more? Yeah, let's finish with this one, I think. This movie is atrocious. The plot, if you actually consider it such, has holes big enough to sail an oil tanker through. A top-notch hitman goes off course and is not in the slightest interested how his boss can call him on a payphone next to him. The action sequences are numerous, but absolutely unrealistic. Bad guys with machine guns can't hit stationary targets, but the good guy is able to use a shotgun like a sniper rifle. I've seen better character development in B-class porn flicks. How they got Eckhart and Roth to participate in such dribbles beyond me. If I could give this movie a minus score, I would gladly do so, which is why he gave it a 1 out of 10. That's brilliant. Okay, let's read another one actually. Aaron Eckhart is generally a pretty great actor. Tim Roth used to have some amazing roles in films, but Classified has really let them both down. The script and dialogue sounds like it was written by a 14-year-old film student. The acting from every other cast member, other than the aforementioned actors, is appalling. Abigail Breslin and Brandon Lessard let the film down no end. The acting from Lessard is especially poor. The storyline that follows his character is non-existent. The only redeeming feature is the cinematography is fairly good, and it's great they shot so much of it in the location of Malta. All right. Okay, I need to read at least one more because it just sounds funny, and this is a 2 out of 10. Maybe this is a wake-up call of sorts. Yeah, nope. One of the dullest action thrillers I've seen in recent memories. One that is easy to follow, but maybe too easy, with a strange lethargic pacing that makes the first 20 minutes feel like an hour. A dull, lackluster execution, and a storyline that hardly goes anywhere. It's so underwritten, it almost feels like a mystery, as that expected layer of depth or a message is strangely missing. This is a Saban film, through and through, with their level of efforts being all too present. It's as if the film was made on an autopilot, coasting on bland tropes to fill in the space. If the sluggish pace doesn't lull you to sleep, the slow melodic, is that right? Yeah, music just might. The action scenes could be skipped completely. as they don't help move the story forward. Much less keep your attention on the screen. Even worse, you could watch this on mute and take away as much as I did trying to pay attention. Don't even think about it. It's not worth your time. I mean, these are people who are basically telling you don't watch this movie. And it doesn't come across as, oh, it's so bad, it's good. And look, there is a 7 out of 10, but I ain't going to give it the time because most of the reviews are really bad. Who knows? We might be part of that 7 out of 10. But it's up to you if you want to be part of that 7 out of 10 by giving this film a chance and watching it. I won't be. I'll tell you that. Even if I might be this 7 out of 10 demographic right here, I'm definitely not going to chance it. Because it just sounds so fucking shit. When you've got people warning you not to watch it. Majority of the reviews are bad by regular people by the looks of things. And these are not critic reviews. These are regular people. Then why chance it? This film is fucking bad. And maybe it should be on our Golden Glasses, which is going to be happening on the 27th of December, by the way. Something you should definitely watch here at NerdTube. But because none of us have watched this film, we can't necessarily put it in our worst films of 2024. I'll speak to Cousin Cheeto about this, see if he's willing to put it in there. Who knows, it might just slip in there. But nobody has seen this film, but this film is fucking bad. Now, do you chance it? I don't think this is in the so bad it's good category either. I just think this is a disgrace to films that have been very similar to this, but have been done so much better. These action thrillers, you know, uncovering a mystery plot type things, you know, with some aging hitman or whatever. You know, these things have been done to death, and there's better versions of these movies out there. Oh, hello, my darling. Do you want to take a chance? I definitely don't. But let me know if you do. Pardon me, burping right there. And follow us here on NerdTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest social media channel you never heard of. I hope this was some good information for you. And maybe you do want to give this film a chance. Good luck to you. Take care now. Bye-bye.